Here we go. There should be sound now. Is there sound? You can write in the chat if there is a sound or no sound. Is there now? I can probably check if there's sound myself. We're currently experiencing technical issues. Hello, sir. How are we doing today? I'm glad you managed to join us. Thank you for letting me know that there is sound. Ailey, thank you for letting me know there is sound as well. Fantastic. You guys haven't missed much. I've been just talking muted on a microphone since then. So apparently that's great. So basically in this live stream, generally what I'm gonna try to do is explain anything about the Wonderland and the time token. If you've got any questions, then let me know if you're invested in it and if you actually want to learn a little bit more about the project, because this is basically all we're going to be talking about. DeFi Wonderland, or Wonderland as most people call it, is a new project that was created by Daniel Siesta. And basically the reason people invest in it is because it's currently paying 82,729% APY per year, which means if you put down $100 in, actually $1 in 1 year, you'll technically should get $82,729, which is pretty incredible. I will actually open up Rebase calculator. So this is a calculator that I will link in the description below because I think it's important to know it. So for example, if you put down, let's say 0.01, what is it, $83 at the current price, in 1 year you will have $72,324, which sounds like crazy talk because that's a lot of money for doing absolutely nothing. If you put down, let's say 0.05, $400, you'll be $361,000 richer, which is basically in any country except for New Zealand. You pretty much can buy yourself a house while investing $416.33, which is ridiculous. So in this video, I want to talk to you about what are realistic expectations for Wonderland, how it works, what strategies it employs in order to sustain this APY. Is it sustainable? How long is it sustainable for? What is the actual plans for the future? And once we kind of look through this, you'll be left to make a decision whether it's something you want to invest or not really. So let's get back into it. So here we've got a basic website. Once you click the Enter App button, I'm gonna close these two, we get a little bit more information about the Wonderland itself. And first thing I would go to is dashboard, because on a dashboard you can actually go ahead and have a look at all the metrics. If you've got time on your own, I'm not gonna go through it, but there is also a docs link which will show you everything about the time token and how it works and basically what it is. If you've ever read through anything similar like Olympus DAO or Kalima, or there's a whole bunch of these projects, pretty much all of them work the same. But this is definitely something you should read when you're first starting out. The only one thing that you need to read in here is the Abracadabra partnership as well, because it shows you how to wrap memo and things like that, but they actually added this to current website as well. Oh, fantastic. So invested 0.49 time and wrapped my mem. That's a good way to go about it. Now, what do these numbers actually mean? So first of all, we've got the time price, which is the price of the token. We've got the market cap, which is the capitalization of the time token. Total value locked, which is, I would imagine, a time tokens that are currently staked. APY is the percentage that you are getting paid out throughout the year. Current index is, since the inception of the project, if you were to buy one time, this is by how much your time would have increased by now. So you would basically 4x your time stake. We're not taking account how much money you've made because the time token went up, but we are taking account how much more time you now have. So you 4x the time that you currently you would have had. Treasury balance is how much money is currently in a treasury, and this is the balance that goes to pay the APY to customers. Backing per time is a dynamic number, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making. They think that backing per time is the minimum, it's the floor price of the time token, which is not actually true. The floor price of the time token is $1. It can never go below $1. It can go below $1,553. Backing per time is basically all the underlying assets that are backing the time token, but because time token is backed by liquidity pool tokens as well as MIMS and wrapped AVAX, if wrapped AVAX goes down in value, this backing per time goes down as well. If the liquidity pool tokens drop in value, this price also drops in value. So that's something that is important to keep in mind. Then we go into a stake function where you can stake your time, and most of you would probably know what exactly this is. You've got time till the rebase. You can stake your time, and your time value shows here. Once you stake it, it turns into memories and becomes a memo. And then you can see your next reward, your reward yield, which is 0.6155%, and your ROI for 5 days, which is 9.6%. You also have the mint function, which will you deposit the liquidity pool tokens, you deposit MIM or wrapped AVAX, and you can create a time token. When you create a time token, you get a little bit of a discount. So if currently price of time is $8,246, the price to mint would be $7,737. And this can be a great asset into making a little bit more money than previously thought, because right now the price of token is actually quite low. It's the lowest it's been in the last couple of days. So what you can do is you can just turn your sell your time, or if you've got any of the, actually you can just deposit it into time and MIM liquidity pool, get the token, and then go ahead and mint some time. And if you do that, first of all, you get about $500 cheaper time. That gives you ROI, and then every 8 hours you can claim a little bit and just restake it right back. So you're basically making money out of nowhere in this case. Mint function, and a lot of questions about time token is this APY sustainable? And that's something I actually missed. Runway is how long we can sustain this APY at the current treasury balance. So if nothing changes for the next 417 days, that's how many days we can repay this APY with no issues. Going back to minting, basically, when people ask, is this APY sustainable? One thing you need to think about is when you go ahead and mint something, first of all, you get a discount. If I want to mint one time token, I'm going to go and I'm going to pay $7,737.67. And I'll be like, yes, that's awesome. At the same time, the treasury will take that $7,000 and create 2 time tokens, because for them, creating a time token means nothing. They're creating something that has never existed before. So they turn nothing into $7,000. They give you a time token vested over a period of 5 days. So every 8 hours you take a little bit and then you go ahead and stake it. So even if you want to mint 100 time tokens, it's going to be spread out across 5 days, across 8-hour rebases. And that's how you reduce the pressure of selling or buying. On the other hand, they also mint a little bit of time to give back to people. So basically, Treasury just got $7,000 more richer for creating absolutely nothing. And this is what is so counterintuitive about this project, is because You think that they're paying $7,000 to create time, but they're actually creating something that has no value to them initially. So they dilute the market cap and price ideally drops, and they just repay the APY to everyone in the pool. A couple things that were added to this website is, first of all, the wrap function. And before we go into it, the time function allows you to buy it on Trader Joe and add it to your wallet. We've got now a wrap function, which we can, you can wrap your memo into W memo, or you can unwrap your memo. I don't currently have anything here that is not leveraged, so I won't really be able to show you how that works. And then going into calculator, which is kind of a cool little thing that they've added. If you have, for example, 0.49 time at current API, at current price, and a current future price, let's say it stays the same, in 30 days you'll have $7,000 return. Now, if you carry on, you can kind of see how much money you will have in total and the potential number of Lambos that you will be driving away with, which I just thought is kind of funny and a nice touch. A lot of people didn't take it very lightly, but hey. All right, that pretty much covers most of it. I'm not going to go into details on Abracadabra and how to leverage, because there is plenty of videos about it as well, which I have one as well. What I want to show you is, let me have a look. All right, what I wanted to discuss is the benefits, tax benefits of wrapping your memo, because there is a bit of a misconception going on saying that wrapping your memo reduces the tax, and this is honestly what I thought initially. So when you have your memo token, it rebases every 8 hours. Just like your bank pays you interest into your savings account, they pay it every month, and straight away from that interest paid, they take away the percentage for taxes. The same goes for time token. So every time you get paid interest every 8 hours, you should be taking money aside and putting it into your tax bucket. Of course, a lot of people don't really do that. So in order to avoid all this conundrum with paying taxes, what you have to do is you have to wrap your memo. If you wrap your memo, technically you're swapping your memo tokens to a wrapped memo tokens, because in the eyes of a government, they are two different tokens. It's like buying Bitcoin, swapping Bitcoin for Ethereum. Same thing applies to swapping memo to wrapped memo. Just because it's called a wrapped memo, it doesn't really mean that they're wrapping it. No, they're just swapping one token for another. And once you swap it to a wrapped memo, now the next taxable event that's going to happen is you just unwrapping your memo, which can be 2 years down the line. Now, for someone like me, it doesn't really matter, because if I pay tax now or pay tax later, it doesn't really make a huge difference. And in New Zealand here, the tax rate is the same whether you hold something for 1 year or whether you hold it for 5 minutes. You don't get any tax benefit from that. For someone in United States, that will be a very different question, because in United States you get a capital gains tax, which means if you hold your memo for less than a year, you will be taxed more than if you hold it for more than a year. So if you live in States, you might as well just wrap your memo and then come back to it in a year. If you have to unwrap it earlier, that's not a problem either, because you still pay one tax and not be liable for every 8-hour rebase. You're going to pay the same amount of tax, so it doesn't really matter what you do. So yeah, this is the tax question. And if you guys have any questions in the meantime, feel free to drop them in the chat as well. I'll answer anything I can. I'm just going to check my notes as well. What Wonderland does, and considering Wonderland as well as the Olympus, they found a way to create ICO, or not really ICO. Yeah, you can say that. They found a way to create an ICO without the negatives of it. So a lot of times what happens in real world is when company goes public, and they want to provide money for someone who's providing liquidity on Uniswap, they would do airdrops, or they would give them free tokens in terms of extra fees. That's why you get those, like a rice farm token. I don't know if you guys know that. CoinGecko rice. Where is it? Oh no. Let me find it. I'm gonna quickly show you. Rice Farm. Here we go. So there was a token called Rice Farm. They've launched and they wanted people to provide liquidity so people can trade. When you provide liquidity, is basically you put in your tokens in so other people can buy it out. On Uniswap, when you go ahead and you want to buy Ethereum, that bucket from which you are buying Ethereum, it needs to have Ethereum. Normally it's like Ethereum USDT. So you deposit 50% Ethereum, 50% USDT, and then people can swap it over and it all should balance itself out. So in this case, Rice Farm wanted people to provide that for their token. So they said, hey, if you do that, you're going to get 400% APY. So you get 400% a year. Look what has happened to the price since. It started at 130, and then you get 400% per year. So it increases the supply, and as supply increases, your percentage drops and your price of the token drops as well. And now at the end, we have a token that costs 7 cents when it started from $1.30. So you basically get nothing. And I've done my calculation. I wanted to invest into this because I saw 400%, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be great. But then the price declines faster than you get your 400%. So what was the point of that? And in these cases, when people see 400%, they look at it and they're like, oh my God, we are getting paid 400%. They get paid, they sell off immediately, because why would you hold on to something that drops in value like this? So Wonderland and originally Ohm, what they decided is they're not gonna they're going to provide liquidity themselves. People give them money, they provide them token. If they stake it, they get super high percentage, but they own their own liquidity. So they have no interest pulling that money out and selling it, and people don't have interest to sell it either, because they're getting such a crazy percentage paid right in their pockets. And as much as you sit down and say that, oh, maybe someone will sell, yeah, potentially people will start selling off, but with such a high APY, why would you want to sell and not accumulate even more wealth? Because soon you can just live on rebases instead of anything else, really. And that kind of brings the question whether it is sustainable. So the model that they run is technically pretty sustainable. If someone sells off big, then your APY increases because all the treasury now split between less people. If you have 100,000 time tokens for 100,000 people, that's one token per person. If you have now 50,000 people, you have 100,000 tokens per 50,000 people. So you actually might benefit because you get higher APY, and that potentially might outrun the price decline. It's a self-regulating token that manages the supply of the time token, which is quite genius. And that's why they call it the DeFi 2.0, because they found a way to provide liquidity themselves and to sustain such high APY. I know it feels like a scam. First time I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a scam. But the more I read into it, the more I understand it, it kind of becomes a bit more tempting to put more money in, let's say that. And big issue that people are having with the time token is trying to track said token. And what I would like to show you is this website over here, which is called zapper.fi. If you go there, if you put in your wallet address in here, it will show you exactly what is on your wallet, and it will give you the total balance, and you can actually see everything broken down. Now, don't freak out. This is not my wallet. This is actually the treasury of time token. So you can see how much MIM they hold. You can see how much wrapped AVAX, USDT is on there, what liquidity pools they have currently running. as well as what networks they are working on. And of course, most of it on Trader Joe, because Avalanche is using Trader Joe pretty much exclusively. So if I were to find out how much money I have on my MetaMask, I would have to just copy my address, click it here, and search it. And I'll get that I have about $119 of AVAX, $18 of AVAX. I've got a leveraged position in a wrapped memo, which is $564. I have a debt of $32 because that's what I took out to buy more wrapped memos. And on Avalanche Network, $550. On Abracadabra, $532. This website is honestly the easiest way to keep track of your token, making sure that you've got everything on your wallet. And if you ever need to know your net worth on particular wallet, you just put it here and it gives you exactly what you need. All right. Talking about the future of Time Wallet is actually Superfarm is one of the companies that they're currently talking. They're creating NFTs and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're looking to gamify the Time token. This is just one of the NFTs that I found on their website, which is kind of strange, honestly. I sometimes don't really get NFTs, but hey, they are working into making this into a big project. So Time will be basically a currency for the Avalanche network where you're going to have NFTs and different games running on it. They're also moving to a DAO structure, which means that people who currently hold the Time token will be running the show. You'll be able to vote what kind of projects we're going to be investing in. You'll be able to say what you want to happen to the project and what you don't. Now, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about, and I don't really have any more notes left. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in comments, and we'll just look at that and see what is happening. Rebase calculator, something I will link in the description. Actually, I might just throw it in the chat. That's probably just easiest, because I don't know if this video is actually gonna go and be listed on the channel, because I don't really list my live streams. I prefer making nice, quick video that basically talks over all the points and you don't really have to listen for too long. Yeah, I mean, if you put in, what, 8,000, let's put in, what, $1,000? 0.2, 1,060, 0.12. Yeah, 0.12, that's your $1,000. And this is the beauty of the compound interest. So if you put in $1,000, you're gonna have $867,000. Now the Time token, the price of each token can be minimum $1. So if we change this to $1, we use the live price. So in a year, your current investment will be worth 12 cents. In a year, your investment will be worth $104.23, which you'll be like, great, I put in $1,000 and now I only have $100. But if we continue and let's say one token equals $1 and you need 0.12 tokens, 0.12, nope, sorry, you need 1,000 tokens. What am I doing? Now at $1, for 1,000 tokens, 487 days. That's the amount of days you need to wait in order to make your money back. In 487 days, you're going to have $1,000, even if the price of time equals $1. And that is an absolute floor it can go to. It cannot be less than that. Now, once you have this, basically will mean that you have 1,000 time, for example. Each day after that, you will be making $18.72. In a month, you're gonna have $744, which means you're still gonna make money, and reasonable amount of money depending on how much you put in initially. So yeah, be able to cover Zeus with another fork of Wonderland, I believe. Their APY is ridiculous. Zeus. Zeus is actually the guy who created Olympus. I'm assuming if I just type in Zeus DAO, I'm gonna find it. Yeah. So this is the guy who created Olympus. Have you got a link to that? Because I can find the Olympus DAO. I cannot find Zeus. Olympus. Yeah, I cannot find the Zeus. Olympus DAO is the original. They are the ones who created this whole system, and honestly, for them, it just works. They are on Ethereum, which means the gas fees are ridiculously high. So Avalanche is much better for this purpose. I truly believe that. And not only that, to be honest, biggest part why I believe the Wonderland is gonna be bigger than Olympus is because not only they have Wonderland, they also have Abracadabra Money. They also have Popsicle Finance. And the only reason why I search hack because it was hacked before, but doesn't matter. So yeah, Popsicle Finance, you've got V3 optimizer. So basically you can put, anyways, it's yet another project that is quite amazing. You've got Abracadabra Money where you can literally just borrow your memes and you stake your time and borrow against it, and you can pay very little tax for it. And if anyone needs 57 memes, they're right there, ready to go. You saw a video on, let's have a look. Let's see if no, if you can send me the video, just put it on a comment or something. I will definitely have a look into it, but I just cannot find it. I know I made a video about Rome DAO just this morning, and that is something that I'm looking forward to, especially because one of the biggest YouTubers in DeFi space, Jesse, is going to invest into it. And I think in about a month's time, when he's going to make a video 1 month of investing into Rome DAO, I think we're going to see a lot of people trying to jump on a hype train, because I've seen that's happened before. And I think he's got about 80,000 followers, which means there's going to be quite a lot of people jumping in. This is something interesting. You can already buy this token, and I do have a video of how to do it, but there is a risk with it, absolutely. Look, it hasn't even launched yet. We don't know what is going to happen. It is on a parachain, so it's on PolkaSwap and Kusama. So that's going to be first on these blockchains, which means generally these projects do pretty well initially. And there is another project that I want to show you, which is actually not even out yet. And I don't know if it's a scam or no, but basically this is what it is. I've got one over here, which is called an alpha-based DAO, and they are going live in 4 days, and that was on the 22nd. So we're probably looking in next day or two when they're planning to go live. They want to do a fair launch, so there is going to be no whitelisting, no nothing. So you can just rock up and buy tokens. It is on Avalanche Network, which means that it's probably not going to be as good as Wonderland, and I would put my money into Wonderland over literally anything. And this is something that I'm planning to do just as a gamble. I'm going to put $100 into it, and you know, if it considering, let's say if I get in at $10 a token, considering it's going to start at $1, or I don't even know what it's going to start. So if you get in at $10 a token and you put $100, that is 1,000 token. If it goes to, let's say, what, $300? That's 300,000. I don't think I'll get in at $10. I don't think many people will at all, because normally, from what I've been reading, people say that bots tend to bot out most of the tokens initially. I would imagine what needs to be done is, actually, not needs to be done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, and I want the experience of participating in a project when it's just launching off the bat. So I'm going to put in about $100 to $500. I'm not sure what I'm going to spend. I'm going to have it ready on my MetaMask. I am at work tomorrow pretty much the full day, so I'm just going to be monitoring this very quietly. Once it goes live, I'm going to chuck my money in, and then we can see what's going to happen. I don't know whether it's going to go up, whether it's just another rug pull, because honestly, it doesn't look too promising, but someone went through effort of setting this up. Can you buy Mover on Coinbase? I personally don't have Coinbase. I cannot have Coinbase. I don't know if they have it. Let's have a look. Prices. Yes, you can buy Coinbase. You can buy Moonriver on Coinbase. I'm just reading a comment. Okay. To start off with, you can buy on Coinbase, and then you can transfer it to your MetaMask, and then you can buy the Roam DAO. Apparently my calculations were wrong. So $10 a token. I am putting in $100. That's 1,000 tokens, right? No, I'm wrong. You're right. So it's $100 divided by $10 a token. So that's 10 tokens times 300. That's $3,000. Slightly off. Ever so slightly. Thank you for pointing out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. If you've got any questions about sustainability, about the Wonderland, any numbers that you came across here, I'll be happy to answer them. You just throw them in a comment and we'll have a chat about it. The price is not doing that great, but again, every time you look at the price, you just think about it, what it's going to be like in a year's time, what it's going to be like in a month's time. If this all is going to go into a DAO structure, we're basically going to see the time tokens you're going to hold basically going to be the voting rights. You will pick the projects you're going to invest in, and it's going to be a launch pad for crypto projects. So yes, price might go down, but then you're going to be exposed to the ICOs at a really, really decent prices. And because the community is so driven behind Wonderland, you actually can charge extra for these ICOs based on a Wonderland. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's something that can turn out into a very big project. And if it's going to be the first DAO that is actually successfully autonomously operated, that's going to be a big change in just the way cryptocurrencies run in general. All right, I do not see any questions, but also my stream is quite delayed, so I don't get to see all the comments right away. If there are no questions, I would probably like to finish the stream. Thank you very much everyone who's joined in. It's been about 45 minutes. As always, we had technical issues in the beginning. I don't do these often, but we'll see how we go in the future. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video. And the end of the stream.